Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 37, recorded in the DeFont Leroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida, and Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good evening, Gary.
Hi, Pards. How's it going?
I'm doing well, thanks.
What's new in your neck of the woods?
Oh, not too much. I played golf yesterday. I walked. First time walking.
How's the knee feeling?
It's fine.
Oh, it's back? Back to normal?
It should be back, yeah.
That's good. How'd you play? Use your new clubs yet?
Nah, I still haven't broke them out because I want to make sure. I want to wait until I'm 100%.
I don't know what you're waiting. They're never going to be 100%.
No, my knee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not good or anything. I'll tell you what, Pards. I put the Alex Detweiler's 3-wood in the bag.
Yeah,
that's a game changer.
Yeah, where do you hit it?
I hit it into par five. I hit it into par fives.
Okay.
And I'm 30 yards longer than my hybrids. It's a great, obviously, but it's a great club.
Oh, so you just didn't have one that you
were confident I never had a 3. I didn't have a 3-wood for the longest time, and then he broke his on 15. He didn't like it. It's a stealth 3-wood.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a shaft on Amazon like a year ago, got it reshafted, and then I just had the assistant pro re-grip it with what I have for grips with my new sand wedge and my new TaylorMade irons. It was funny because I got a mid-size, and I said, this feels a little thicker than a mid-size. And he's like, yep, it's double wrapped. I'm like, can you tell without taking the grip off? He's like, yeah, it's a double wrap mid-size. So he threw that onto my driver and 3-wood. So now all my clubs are the same consistent grip.
Yeah.
I called, did I tell you I called Alex a bitch a week ago?
Yeah, you're going to say that on the podcast? I think
is that a bad word?
Yeah, it's not a great word.
Okay, well, you know what I called Bill Rossini? I let him out of his ban. You know, banned him for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
You know about that. So,
yes.
You know, the group's kind of back together. It was me, Bill Rossini, Kurt, and my friend Michael.
Oh, no, he's out.
And Alex isn't playing for a while, so we're on number 12.
Yeah,
and I got about a 25-foot putt. I don't play it high enough. It rolls down. It rolls down to about 8 feet. I'm like, typical. Here we go. I got 8-footer coming back for bogey. I mark my ball. I'm cleaning it, and I'm away. And Bill Rossini goes, "Hey, Pards, what do you think my putt's gonna do?" I said, I'm away, Pards. I got a putt. I said, well, let me look at my putt and make, I said, you're such a narcissist. It's all about you. And Mike Sneed's laughing. And I said, you know what? I said, I got an uphill, a little bit of right to left. I said, I'm 99% sure I'm just going to knock it in the back of the cup. So let me just clean my ball, put it down. I'll make my putt, and then I'll come over and take a look at yours. And sure as boop, right in the middle, pick it up. I said, all right, let's go look at yours. And everybody on the green's just laughing.
That's funny.
And then
you're just not nice to anyone you play with then.
No, I'm not nice to anybody.
So it's not just me when we play.
No.
I thought I was special. I guess not.
So this guy Mike that we play with, I've told you he was an executive at J&J and just a really sweetheart. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. A gentleman and a sweetheart. So on 18, I pop it up. I mean, I'm barely past the ladies' tees, right? I hit it about 75 yards. Boop, comes down the middle of the fairway. I hit it right off the top. So I go, well, you go, I'll walk into our balls, and Mike's walking past me, and he goes, it's a good drive right there. And I looked at Kurt, and he kind of smirked. I said, I ruined this guy. This guy a year ago would have never said that. Like you. No,
now he's an a-hole like you are.
Now he's miserable just like me. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. You pull everyone down to your level.
Yes, I want people to bust my chops. Doesn't that make it fun?
You know, like when you watch a college basketball team and and they're playing like the last place team in the conference, and they play a bad game, and you say they
Yeah.
play down to the level. That's you. You're that last place team, and you want everyone down to your level.
Yes. Yep.
And it's just in like maturity wise. No, I'm not saying.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
golf
No, I
skill
like
as well is true, but
No, I
that's
like
not the point.
immature. I like immaturity
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, I don't know how you can have brand new sticks and just leave them in the box. I'd be itching.
Oh,
to
you
be
really?
out
You'd
there
be.
putting-
You're
oh, yeah.
bad right now.
Oh, if I had new clubs.
I got my sand wedge.
Oh,
Yeah,
they came in.
Yep,
The
and
ones
it's
you
still
ordered?
got see, it's still got the wrapper on it.
Nice. Very nice. I didn't even put the head back on my driver yet from the flight. It's still in my in the pouch in my golf
I
bag.
mean, no reason. Just leave it for next year if you get permission to come down, because we
I
both
might not.
know you're not playing this summer.
I don't know if I might not qualify if I don't get any rounds. There's got to be like a cutoff where my gym expires or
No,
something.
you're fine. No, they don't even really look at it.
Even if those are the only rounds I play all year, just in the member guests, they're just going to let me keep.
I mean, you don't have to be a 40 round a year guy. There's
That's
a lot
true.
of people who don't even have like a USGA handicap, and they have to go off of.
Oh, like Grint
No,
or
like
whatever.
Mike Holmes's guests usually just come in. I'm a 37.
Yeah,
They don't have
always win
they
that
don't
for
have
me.
a legitimate gin.
Yeah,
Guys, he's a 47. He had a couple of good rounds. Leave him alone.
yeah. It's an anomaly. I don't know. It's just, he's never shot 72 before.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Bunch of sandbaggers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into that. What are we talking about this week, Mike?
We got something simple. We had a long podcast previous to listen to our WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. We had Scott Campbell on. We talked some Disneyland.
Ooh.
Not a category that we talk about often, obviously, because of logistics, but it's something that we are both very interested in.
Yeah, I like Disneyland. I want to get back out there pretty soon.
Yeah, so go ahead and give a listen to that one. Speaking about getting back there soon, I'm itching. I'm looking at that contract, Parge. We don't really need to.
You're still looking at that same one that's still there, that Vero Beach?
No. The Grand
Oh, the
Canyon.
50. Oh,
Yeah.
Was it 25 or 50?
50.
That's a big investment. Think of how many Vero points you could get for the same price.
Yeah, but again, I'm going to be you were my devil's advocate. You were saying you don't want to have those annual dues. So now I'm like
That's
at
true.
the mid eights, and that's doable annual dues.
That's a good point. That's
Take
fair.
out a second mortgage for the
Yeah.
to pay
For the
cash
bill.
for this contract, but
Hey, you got to make sacrifices sometimes.
yeah, so I'm still eyeing that. We'll see. I'm more than likely not going to do anything, but yeah, I was sitting in the pool today, and I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I said, why don't we talk about contracts that we would either buy or we already have
Okay.
regarding different areas of the Orlando parks, whether it be Disney
what home
Springs,
resorts?
Epcot. What home resorts would you like?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I said, let's look at the monorail resorts or the monorail loop. It doesn't necessarily have to be the monorail
Yeah,
loop.
like
but
Magic Kingdom area.
Magic Kingdom area, Epcot Hollywood Studios area.
Mm-hmm.
I said Disney Springs area, and then just like a little 50 to 600 point add-on that would like to, anywhere kind of anywhere in between those numbers.
Sure. All right. Well, where do you want to start?
Why don't we start at the Magic Kingdom?
All right. So which Magic Kingdom resort would I like? So you already own a Magic Kingdom resort. Is that still going to be the one for you? That's what I'm interested in. But for me, I'm going to go, this is going to be more of an economical answer. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think this still is one of the best resale contracts due to price per point and dues over the course of the life of the contract. And I'm going to say Bay Lake Tower.
Yeah, I figured you'd go there.
And that's an economical thing. So I'm looking at it purely for the point. You stay at the Magic Kingdom area. You get your 11-month booking window so you can get those theme park views or whatever if you want the preferred view as opposed to theme park. I think there's 3 view categories now.
Yeah.
There. I think that second one is harder to get, the middle one.
Yeah, because from what I understand, it's the lowest points, and you still pretty much guaranteed a theme park view.
Right. So yeah, Bay Lake Tower, low dues. I think even on resale, they're around 150 a point now.
It's a pretty good resale contract.
Maybe even less than that. I've seen different, but like Polly's fine, but I think I like the amenities a little better at the Contemporary as far as like food and beverage.
I mean, it's even lower. I'm seeing some for my use year, 135.
Yeah, no, after I said 155, I was thinking
Yeah, I'm seeing
138.
126 for 200. So you're starting to get into that sleep around point conversation with Bay Lake Tower.
So that's going to be my answer for Magic Kingdom areas, Bay Lake. And I love the refurb they did at Bay Lake Tower.
Oh, you and me both.
I know the studios are small, but I think their 1 bedrooms and up are decent size.
Now, let me ask you a question like regarding your kids and their ages.
Yeah.
Is the Poly still the play for them, or are they like starting to outgrow the Poly? Like the Poly to me seems like it's a little kids resort.
So I think they would like the Poly because the pool is amazing there, but it's very crowded. I love the lobby at the Poly. I think it's a fun resort. I don't think they would outgrow it yet. But they both love Contemporary. And we haven't even stayed there, and they love it.
Yeah, because as far as kids are concerned, Contemporary strikes me as like the early teen, like the 11 to
I could see that.
14, and I think the Poly strikes me more as a 5 to 11.
Okay, I could see that a little bit for sure. But I don't know, they love the monorail going through it. They like the shops in the lobby. We've eaten at the restaurants there. Yeah. I mean, we haven't even stayed at Bay Lake Tower. Maybe they'll hate it when we stay, but as of right now, that's definitely number 1 on their list. So that's made my choice for my Magic Kingdom resort.
Now, would you ever consider? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like the Grand Floridian a lot.
Yeah.
It's just my biggest fallback and the Poly's the same thing. The points per night are so high at those 2 resorts that you don't get enough bang for your buck, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that's why you need multiple contracts.
Of course, yes. What were you were about to ask me a question, though.
Would you ever consider Bay Lake as your 3rd contract?
It's possible. I think, and we'll get to it soon, I think my 3rd's going to have to be an EPCOT, though.
Yeah.
I think. But the years, I don't know. We'll talk about it. There's a lot to discuss, much to discuss. What's your Magic Kingdom one?
Mine's the Grand Floridian.
I mean, you already have it. You bought it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to change it. I mean, I wouldn't sell it, and it's just got everything. It's just perfect for adults. It's got the great restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
The quiet pool is relatively quiet because a lot of people are over that DVC pool.
Yes,
because closest to the DVC building. Yep. I like the restaurants, and I like to be able to walk to the parks because the monorail is, especially with the new tower, is crowded, and I like to walk. I'd much rather walk. And if I don't want to walk, I usually just take the boat, and I don't mind the fact that when it leaves the Grand Floridian, it runs up to the Poly because I like to have a long boat ride. I don't necessarily have to get into the Magic Kingdom ASAP. So,
and if you do want to, you can walk.
Fine. What's that?
And if you do want to get there ASAP, you just walk.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Because it's a longer walk than the Contemporary path, but it's not bad.
It's 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You get a cup of coffee and put it in a
the paper cup. Yeah.
Paper cup, and just take the path to the Magic Kingdom and discard it when you go through security. It's fine.
Now, I haven't done that walk myself. Is it? I think that it's got to be shorter. It's not as long as the walk from like Epcot to Hollywood Studios, is it?
Not at all. No.
Right? Okay.
No, it's shorter. It's probably shorter than the back of Boardwalk to Hollywood Studios.
Okay. How about like Yacht Club, like the furthest Yacht Club to Epcot? Is it about the same as that?
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it could be Yacht Club, maybe even Swan and Dolphin.
Swan and Dolphin to Epcot.
Yeah, so it's a decent walk.
But it's not crazy.
No.
Yeah. I love that path is there.
Where has it been?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, it's amazing. You take the monorail and you look down, you're like, why is there not a path?
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're sticking with your Grand Floridian.
I certainly am.
Now we're gonna go over to EPCOT area or EPCOT / Hollywood Studios area, and you have the same quandary. Are you sticking with your home resort? Or are you thinking about something different here? Because I have a lot of questions for me.
Okay.
To myself at this. This is a hard decision for me.
So do you want me to lead off? Do you want to go like one of those wraparound fantasy drafts?
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you lead off this one?
I'm Riviera for the same reasons why I love the Grand Floridian.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adult-centric resort.
Yep.
I think it's got some of the best food and beverage on property. I agree they don't have enough. I wish they had a single credit dining,
that'd be
but
nice.
I don't know if they have the room for it. I like the fact that it's away. I like the fact that it's not in the middle of the hustle bustle. And I also like the fact that it's next to Caribbean because I'm a walker. I love to be able to walk around with a cup of coffee in the morning or grab a couple of suds and put them in my pocket and walk around Caribbean Beach late at night and have a couple of Bud Lights. So
now
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, does the resale restrictions like bring it down a peg or two for you because you can't use those points if you want to stay at Boardwalk?
That's correct.
Or Beach Club. Are those a little more appealing because of that?
I mean, for what you can get per point, it's one of the sexiest contracts out there.
Yeah, the thing I love most about DVC is the flexibility, and then having that taken away by buying a resale Riviera is hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there were no resale restrictions on Riviera, obviously it would sell for more points, but
way more.
That being said, it would be my obvious choice because the dues aren't too high.
No, the dues are fine. They're a little on the high side, especially for a high rise in a newer resort. Well, like I said, they one of the reasons is because it is a standalone, and it's not being subsidized by the cash.
So we have, that option. I love the Skyliner access. I like the grounds. The point chart's a little high there.
A little, but actually, for what you're getting, I don't think it's bad. It's got one of the bigger rooms on property.
Yes, that's true. You get a big studio, but I think I'm going to have to say, for me, it's going to be Boardwalk.
That's interesting.
And Boardwalk and Beach Club are a toss-up for me.
That's interesting.
Beach Club, I like a lot. I didn't fall in love with it when I stayed there. I love the access to EPCOT. I fell in love with that part.
Yep.
But the resort itself, I didn't fall in love with. It's just not like that. The vibe wasn't there for me. Like, the pool was great. Obviously, the kids love the pool.
Yep.
But Boardwalk, even though I haven't stayed there yet, I really like Boardwalk. The price per point is about the same. The expiration date is about the same between Boardwalk and Beach Club.
I think they are the same. I think they're both 2042s.
I know they're the same. I'm just saying, like, the points resale cost is close to the same. Beach Club's a little more money, I think.
Beach Club's quite a bit more. It's actually quite a bit more.
Oh, is it?
I want to say it might be even $20 more a point.
All right. Well, that's a big difference.
Because they don't have any rooms. So that is a property that you need the 11th month.
You need to own there. Yeah.
Booking window.
So that was also going to be my reason against it, is there's just not enough rooms, and you can, even at 11 months, you can get shut out of what you want. Whereas Boardwalk, at the 11-month mark, there's some really attractive point charts, 9 points per night over there.
Yeah. Oh, those September point charts are gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's why I lean Boardwalk over that. But if Riviera didn't have the resale restrictions, if I could buy that Riviera contract and stay wherever I wanted, I think it would edge it out because, like, the 2070.
So do you like Riviera better than Boardwalk and Beach Club? Would be the question.
No, not necessarily. I just don't love the expiration date. And I know it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because it's still 17 years away or whatever, and that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't love the 2042
See, and that
expirations.
and that's the thing. Like, I don't really care about expiration dates. But what I'm learning more and more is the buy where you want to stay, because I bought Riviera 100% just to use at Riviera.
Well,
So I was
obviously.
completely fine
Yeah.
with that. I want to stay in a one bedroom and I want to do 3 to 4 nights a year in a one bedroom, and I'm totally fine with that. I would
Mhm.
never use that for something else. Now I have the Grand Floridian, which this year I'm not even staying at the Grand Floridian. And
Right,
it
and
pains me.
I
And
was
it
gonna say,
pains
that's gotta hurt you because you're
Yeah,
paying a lot for those points to stay at other
correct.
places.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it just happened that this year we're just doing a few different things, and so be it. Next year we're gonna readjust and we're doing all of our points at the Grand Floridian. So it'll be fine. But I'm just seeing like your first 1 or 2 contracts, you really want to buy where you want to stay. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with having a Saratoga sleep around where you can stay wherever you want.
Yes.
But like Animal Kingdom is a great contract for all those different room categories. That is a
Yes.
great 11-month contract. Saratoga
Mhm.
is not an 11-month contract.
No, but it's a good sleep around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great I mean, I love the resort. It's a great product.
Yes. Alright, so we got our Epcot ones away, Boardwalk and Riviera. And now you said at Disney Springs.
Yeah, Disney Springs Resort.
Now there's only 2 options, right, or am I missing something
Eh,
here?
I only came up with 2. I mean, we could talk about taking a bus somewhere, but
Alright, I was just trying to think if there was
yeah.
something I was missing.
No.
Um, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me because I already own there. It's Saratoga Springs. Um, I don't love Old Key West. I would stay there. Would not wanna own there. Again, you have the early expiration date, you have higher
Yep.
dues,
Yep.
and I don't like the resort as much.
Mhm.
Um, so that's just 0 for 3 for me.
I mean,
And
I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say there's just nothing for me at Old Key West that would push it ahead of Saratoga
Mhm.
Springs. Now, if I was staying there, I'd be fine with it. Like Old Key, it's not like the rooms are dirty or bad. There's especially 1 and 2 bedrooms there are gorgeous.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
But I'd much rather Saratoga. Plus, you're closer to Disney Springs. That walking path to Disney Springs, love it. Love
Yeah.
being that close. Because even Old Key West, you still have to get on the boat, wait for the boat. It's not a short boat ride, which is fine, but it's not like the quickest back and forth to Old Key West from Disney Springs, in my opinion. I mean, is there anything you disagree with or that you want to add to this conversation?
No, I mean, I wanted to just be different and say Old Key West, but I love Saratoga Springs. I don't like it. I love it. It's one of
Yeah.
our favorite resorts. It is perfect for the 2 of us. It's a great resort, like you said, with kids. It's a great resort for people without kids. I mean,
Hmm.
arguably one of the best resorts for people
Yeah.
in our situation. The room's fantastic. The grounds are gorgeous. The pools, the amenities. I mean, there's nothing negative that I can say about Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, because if you fold in the Disney Springs restaurant into the Saratoga Springs food scene, it's fantastic.
Sure, now it's right up there with the Grand Floridian and
Right.
Riviera as far as best food and beverage. But
Yeah,
like,
I
I
mean,
always laugh when they still call it the resort of last resorts because I love that resort.
oh, absolutely. And I get the fact that it probably comes across that way because it's always available.
It's always available. Sure.
It's big, and yeah, people. It's not in the best situation. The buses stink there. So if you're going
Yeah.
on your DVC and you want to do the parks,
You're doing
balls
the
to
rope drop and all that stuff, and
it's
especially
not the best
staying
place.
late at night. That was one of the worst nights of my life,
From
was taking that bus back because we
the
missed one,
yeah,
and it took 45 minutes, and I was falling asleep standing up. That was brutal, and I was so tired that night,
yeah,
and that next morning, the bus situation's terrible, but then again, we could all driven.
right.
I don't know if I had enough room for you guys, but if you're staying at Saratoga, hey, maybe pay a couple extra dollars and get a rental car and pull
Yeah.
it right up next to your villa and drive to the parks.
Or take Ubers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that the bus situation there is not great. So that is a downfall of it, but it's not like it's better at Old Key West, the bus situation. It's the same thing. It's a big resort, same exact kind of deal with that. So agree on Saratoga. And then what was the last category? Just a
Basically like a savings plan. Like where do you want to if you have a
bang
little
for your
bit of
buck.
extra money, yeah, where do you want to tuck it away in a savings account?
This is the tough one because I think the two best options are already on my list. But I'd like to hear yours first.
It is unequivocally the boardwalk.
Okay.
I'm with you. I wasn't a huge fan. Like I was a beach club all the time. And I've stayed on the cash side once and I've done 2 DVC stays now at the boardwalk. I love the vibe. I'm not a huge fan of the lobby. I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan. The amenities are fine. The room is newly refurbished, so it's fantastic. And I love going to that art store.
Yes.
I love just walking around. I like hanging out. I love just outside the lobby where they have all those Adirondacks overlooking
Oh,
the
yeah.
courtyard where they have the movie Under the
Yeah, where
Stars.
the fake grass is down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like everything about it. The point charts are amazing. I believe it is a great resort to have at the 11 month because, like you
Yes.
said, they have some really good cheap points. Great place if you just want to run up for a weekend and do a one of the festivals, or
Yep.
if you
Of
want to
course.
do you name Christopher Cross Air Supply. Some of those big hitters are at Epcot, and you want to go up just for the night and not have to drive home and just spend the night up there. I mean, it's a great resort.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you need to own there to get the value rooms or
Yeah.
standard, whatever you call it,
Yep.
because those book fast.
They book fast.
You can find a regular, like a boardwalk view or a garden view, whatever they call it, occasionally, depending on the time of year.
Yeah, they
At
have
the
both
7
of them, the
Yeah.
boardwalk and the garden view, because I would like to have a boardwalk view, but also, like Kristen said, I'd rather just have, like, the parking lot view because, there's a million trees, it's not a terrible view, and it's quiet.
I think it's cool to have the boardwalk view once,
I think I agree with you 100%. I think that would be really cool.
but to save the points, I'd much rather do the value, the standard, whatever they call it. They keep changing the name, so
Yeah, they all call them resort views now.
resort view, yes. It's definitely it's hard to pay extra for the view. I'm still stubborn about that. I love wasting my points,
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean,
but I'm
I always
stubborn
stay
about
at the
doing that.
cheap one at Riviera, I stay at the
Yeah.
cheap one at Grand Floridian, so, no, I agree with you 100%. I'm like that. Like, I'll spend 400 points a night to stay in a grand villa, but I don't
Right.
like spending 3 extra points for I
Yes,
like
exactly.
yeah, it's
Had
weird,
a
isn't
gr
it?
If you had a Grand Villa standard view that was, like, 183 a night, and then the Grand Villa theme park view was 186 a night, I'd still do the 183.
Oh, would you'd save 3 even on a grand villa?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's
messed up.
they're not that close, though. I would probably splurge on 3, but they're not that close. Because even the in July when we're going to Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
the standard view to the Savannah view, it was like an extra 50 something points for the whole
For a
the whole trip.
two-bedroom?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of points. I mean,
it's a
that's a
lot of
few
points.
nights, trip that you could do with your wife.
Right. So, alright, I guess my answer, it's tough because I do think the ones that I own and the ones that I've said are the best answer for this. I don't think Animal Kingdom is the economical answer. I think it's a good contract to have, like you said, but the dues are a little high, and you wanna use them there because the 11-month window is very valuable there
Sure.
with those value rooms, concierge level rooms. They're not bad sleep around points because you get a good deal. Like it's not an expensive resale
Sure, yeah,
contract.
absolutely. Yep.
I still think Saratoga is the best. I think I would just re-up with Saratoga, buy
Is
more
that what you would
contracts
do?
there.
You'd buy a,
You can find them in the 90s often,
know.
and their dues are low, and their point chart is very good. I like staying there anyway, and then using those as sleep around is a great value. So I think my answer is Saratoga. I know that's a boring answer. And ironically, there's one place I think that we didn't mention. Well, two technically, but it's the same place, Boulder Ridge and Copper Creek, which I love Boulder Ridge.
I do too. Boulder Ridge is always like, if I'm looking at sleep around points, and this is going to be a completely different show,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking at Saratoga. And I love Boulder Ridge because I like the location. I like I don't necessarily need Boulder Ridge at the 11-month.
Well, that's the thing. It's not. I don't think it's one that you need to own. It's
Right.
expiring in 2042. You could get it pretty regularly. Copper Creek's harder to get, and you don't like that.
And I don't like it
resort
at
as
all.
much.
I don't like it at all.
The only thing is the cabins, obviously, but those you can get pretty much anytime.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't. So that's not one that I would necessarily look at. If Boulder Ridge started dipping down into the 90s, then maybe, but it's still like 125, 130.
It's still in the
Because people do like it.
Still less attractive than Saratoga.
Yes. Looking at it economically.
Economically, and like you said, if somebody held a gun to your head and said you have to stay here the rest of your DVC life, you would have no problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. At Saratoga, I'd be fine with that. I mean, I like the flexibility, of course.
Right.
But yeah, if you said that you can only stay here, that'd be fine. I can stay in 2 bedrooms at Saratoga any day.
And the tree houses every once in a
tree
while
houses,
when you have some points that you have to use up.
Right.
We were watching some videos of what did we start? We started with some Grand Villas. We looked at the Alani Grand Villa, we looked at the Grand Cal Grand Villa, and then we found one YouTuber who said, like, she did a show about like the most luxurious rooms.
Yeah.
And she's talking about the cabins at Fort Wilderness. And Kristen's like, well, your definition of luxurious and most people's definition of luxurious is different.
Yeah, that's a little different.
So she obviously had the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and she had the Polynesian bungalows.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, yeah, I still want to do those cabins. And she's like, and even, I like the Wilderness Lodge ones better, but I like the cabins at Polynesian. I'd like to do that. Like, well,
the bungalow,
yeah. I'm like the bungalows. I'm like, well, that's, Gary and I are in agreement. We want to kind of see if we can pull some of our points together sometime and, fill that place up, whether it be like us and like his parents or bringing Catherine or whatever.
Well, the problem with both of those is they're 2 bedrooms, the cabin and
that's true. I'm like,
the bungalows, they only sleep 8.
So the 2 of us could split. So she's like, yeah, I'd like to do that. And she goes, but this is not permission to buy another contract. I'm like, well, in order to do this, we need, because you have the contracts now that just get you your standard vacation.
Right.
Now, if we want some FU points,
that's right. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's a ball, right?
And that's why we're asking you all to subscribe to our Patreon so we could buy more points.
Join us on our Patreon episode, which is right after this episode.
Yeah. I'd love a LLC contract where we just buy up all these like 5-star deals. We might have to talk some turkey about that.
What, doing an LLC and all that nonsense?
Incorporate. Just have to hire an accountant to do our taxes and stuff that we lose money on.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It'd be a write-off against the losses.
I can't stop looking.
I get the damn emails from Ferrari. It drives me nuts.
I actually messaged him today and he responded. Yeah. I was asking him about the Grand Cal contracts.
That's funny. Any final thoughts? What else? Did we miss anything? I think we nailed it.
I don't think so. We should do some sleep around points. We've got some interesting shows coming back because I'm going actually back to back up to property.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to be staying at the Riviera at the Tower Studio.
Nice.
And then we have the club level at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So
yeah, that's coming up soon.
Got some interesting episodes coming up.
For sure. All right. Why don't you bring us home?
Yep. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show info@addictedtodvc.com and join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.